In today's video, I've got 5 facts about Kaga from the series Azur Lane / a character analysis video. But hey, if you're new here, why not join the 4-on-4 community by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a video. And a huge shout out to the Azur Lane Academy who have partnered with me in this video to bring more information on the characters and ships. I will leave a link in the description below to their social media links, so make sure you check them out. Kaga is of the Sakura Empire. She is a part of the Kaga class. Her classification is an aircraft carrier, and in the popular mobile game that the anime is based on, she is a super rare ship who can only be obtained via drop only. Kaga's name can be loosely translated to mean increased joy. Thus, her character in Azur Lane references this by receiving much joy from combat and the destruction of her enemies, despite not really finding much joy in anything else. Appearance-wise, again, another fox girl. Nice. She does remind me of Trash Origami from the Day to Live series in terms of overall appearance, but I'm still a fan of Kaga despite this. Now, Kaga has shoulder-length white hair with pointy fox ears. Again, I do like a fox girl. Her eyes are a beautiful blue colour with extra red makeup similar to Akagi's. Also, can't ignore the foxtails too, right? They look so awesome. Attire-wise, she wears a black top that accents her bust, nice, tied together just below said bust with a black belt, a blue miniskirt and knee-high tights. She also wears a long overcoat that has a white theme with blue trimmings and design. This just finishes off her look awesomely. IGN Kaga, named after the former Kaga province in present-day Ishikawa Prefecture, was originally laid down as a Tosa-class battleship on July 19th, 1920, a class of ship that would evolve into the Amagi-class battlecruiser. Whether or not she should be classified as a Tosa-class or Amagi-class is a topic of some debate, thanks to the fact that most of the documents were burned by Japan. Anyway, she was then launched on November 17th of 1921. Now, February 1922, both Tosa-class ships were set to be scrapped thanks to the restrictions put in place by the Washington Naval Treaty. Meanwhile, her half-sisters Amagi and Akagi were set to be converted into aircraft carriers. Because of the Great Kanto earthquake, Amagi was damaged beyond economic repair. Kaga, however, was saved from the scrapyard and was made to be Amagi's replacement. She would be commissioned on March 31st of 1928 and should later be rebuilt and heavily modernized in 1935. On November 30th of 1929, Kaga completed her sea trials and officially became the 3rd aircraft carrier to enter Japanese service. On December 1st, 1931, Kaga was assigned as the flagship for the 1st Carrier Division. Shortly after, on January 29th of 1932, the 1st Carrier Division, along with Japan's 1st aircraft carrier, the IGN Hosho, set out for Chinese waters to support Imperial Japanese Army units during the Shanghai incident as part of the IGN's 3rd Fleet. Once a ceasefire was reached on March 3rd, Kaga returned home to continue training operations with the combined fleet. It was during this time Kaga helped to develop Japanese carrier doctrine, which grouped carriers together to give greater mass and concentration to their air power. As a result, aircraft carriers began to operate together or in front of the main battle line, revolutionizing carrier doctrine and emphasized the need for higher speeds, more aircraft, more range and longer flight decks. However, this resulted in Kaga being considered inferior to her half-sister, the IGN Akagi, and thus she had her rebuild and modernization prioritized, despite technically being the younger of the two. In April 1941, her and her half-sister Akagi were both reassigned to the 1st Carrier Division as part of the new Kido Butai. In September 1941, the fleet anchored in Ariake Bay, Kyushu for training for what would become the Pearl Harbor attack. In the attack, Kaga's aircraft claimed to hit the battleships Nevada, Oklahoma, Arizona, California, West Virginia, and Maryland, while her fighters claimed to have shot down 1 American aircraft and destroyed 20 on the ground following the attack. Now, her skill in-game, called Preemptive Victory, is actually a reference to her participation in the Pearl Harbor raid. Kaga's Japanese voice actress is Ai Kayano. She has voiced other characters such as Darkness in Konosuba, Ryoko Sakaki from Food Wars, Shina Mashiro in The Pet Girl of Sakura So, Inori Yuzuria from Guilty Crown, and more. Kaga's English voice actress is Dawn N. Bennett. She has voiced other characters such as Yozora in The Helpful Fox Senko-san, Tai Yamada from Zombieland Saga, Shizu in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Setsuna Takagi from My Hero Academia, and more. I went over this in my video for Akagi, but I'll go over the relationship between Kaga and Akagi again, because you really can't talk about one without mentioning the other. While Akagi and Kaga are often put together and treated as sisters, they're actually only half-sisters, as Akagi is Akagi class and Kaga is Kaga class. Much like her sister Akagi, game-wise Kaga is a decent carrier in terms of stats, but is outclassed by many American carriers. However, when paired with Akagi, the duo become beasts in combat and are considered the meta, especially when paired with Amagi or Nagato, to function as the flagship, buffing them even more. Her first skill, First Carrier Division, is a reference to her being one of the two carriers of the First Carrier Division alongside her half-sister Akagi. Now, Kaga always appears dressed in white and blue. This is a sharp contrast to her sister Akagi, who always appears in red and black. This is a reference to the ships both being quite similar, but also very different at the same time. Now, the anime has certainly fan-serviced their relationship, with Akagi being the more dominant of the two sisters, or half-sisters. But who is your favourite of the two? Let me know in the comments. So I mentioned in my Akagi video that Akagi seemed to bear a bit of a hatred towards Enterprise. This is ultimately down to Akagi and Kaga's demise at the hands of bombers from the USS Enterprise IRL. So after the events of Pearl Harbor, Akagi, Kaga and the Kido Butai served in further missions, sinking many US and British ships before being ordered on April 19th, 1942 to pursue the USS Enterprise and the USS Hornet. However, they were unable to locate them. On May 25th, 1942, Kaga was sent out with the rest of the combined fleet's carrier forces for the attack on Midway. However, after bombing American forces, American aircraft and the carriers Enterprise, Hornet and Yorktown attacked Kaga and 3 other IGN carriers. Kaga was hit by a huge 1,000-pound bomb and at least 3 500-pound bombs by the bombers of the USS Enterprise that, as you can imagine, caused incredible damage to Kaga. The worst was yet to come as the 1,000-pound bomb detonated in the upper hangar, rupturing the ship's gas lines, which caused gas to spill everywhere that would then detonate 80,000 pounds of bombs and torpedoes on the ship that literally blew out the sides of the hangars. So yeah, it was a pretty fucking bad day to be aboard the Kaga, and while all this was happening, Akagi was also busy getting annihilated as well. At least she was in good company, I guess. When it became obvious that Kaga couldn't be saved, at 7:25 PM she was scuttled by 2 torpedoes from Hagikaze, causing her to sink stern first. Now, in May of 1999, Nauticos Corporation, in partnership with the US Navy, discovered some of the wreckage of Kaga, including a chunk of her flight deck and some AA guns. But more recently, on October 18th of this year, 2019, the research vessel RV Petrel, heavily funded by the late Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, discovered the entirety of the wreck and documented it significantly. Her wreck sits upright and is still missing most of her flight deck, to the surprise of no one. The wreck has been heavily colonized by marine growth and is in pretty rough condition, unlike the wreck of Akagi, who was discovered 2 days later. But thanks for watching. This is my video 5 facts about Kaga from the series Azur Lane. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more characters from this series, let me know in the comments. Now a quick shout out to my Patreons, Latin Thomas, Jamie, Joshua, Aaron, VideoGamer75, Warwick, EH, and the rest of you supporting me on the other tiers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you're interested in what rewards I have to offer on my Patreon, the link is in the description. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, as it really does help my videos reach a wider audience, and subscribe for more anime content. Till next time, my fellow weebs, peace!